You know that feeling, right? You wake up totally fired up, thinking, okay, this is the year I finally change. But then the months just kind of evaporate, and you're still in the exact same spot. It's got to be one of the most frustrating feelings in the world.
So, does this sound familiar? You're putting in the effort, you're trying to learn, you really, really want to get better, but the needle just isn't moving. You feel stuck. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place, because we're about to figure out exactly why that is.
Here's the thing. We've all been sold this lie that we just need more motivation, right? More willpower. But let's be real. If motivation alone actually worked, you'd already be where you want to be. The problem isn't your desire, it's your method. You're trying to improve, but you're doing it the wrong way. So what exactly is this wrong way? Well, it actually has a name. It's called the consumption trap. And trust me, this is the real reason so many of us feel like we're just spinning our wheels, getting absolutely nowhere. I mean, seriously, just think about it for a second. You watch hours of productivity videos on YouTube. You're scrolling Instagram, seeing all these motivational quotes. Maybe you even buy that shiny new online course. And then it just sits there, collecting digital dust. All of that stuff feels super productive, doesn't it? But here's the brutal truth. That feeling of progress, it's a total illusion. It's basically mental junk food. It gives you that quick little sugar rush, that feeling of being informed and ready for action, but it has zero actual nutrients for real growth. And this is a big one, so let it really sink in. All that passive learning, all that consuming, it's not preparation. It's just procrastination wearing a really nice suit. It lets you feel busy without ever taking the risk of actually doing anything. So here's what it all boils down to. The gap between where you are and where you want to be, it's not a knowledge gap. Come on, you probably already know enough to get started. The real gap, that's an action gap. Or even better, it's an uncomfortable action gap. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. Now for the good part, the prescription. Let's break down 3 super powerful fixes that are going to shift you from just passively consuming to actively executing. All right, here they are. Do less, win more. Create a feedback loop and engineer your environment. Now, they might sound simple, but trust me, they work. Let's jump into the first one. So, our first fix. It's going to sound a little weird, a little counterintuitive, but it's a total game changer. Instead of trying to do more, you're actually going to do less. This is all about radical, ruthless focus. 1. Just 1. I want you to burn that number into your brain. For the next 30 days, you get 1 goal, 1 new habit, 1 skill to work on. That's it. This is how you cut through all the noise and finally start making some real, tangible progress. And look, this is the fundamental difference, right? Average people try to multitask. They try to do everything all at once and end up doing nothing particularly well. But high performers, they obsess. They pick one target and they just go all in until they master it. Your job is to become an obsessor. All right, so you've picked your one thing. Awesome. But how do you actually know if you're winning? How do you know if it's working? Well, that's where our second fix, the feedback loop hack, comes into play. You've got to get this through your head. Feelings lie. Numbers don't. You just can't trust your mood to tell you if you're making progress. If you're not tracking your actions with cold, hard data, you're basically just flying blind, hoping for the best. There's that old saying, what gets measured gets mastered. And it's a classic for a reason. When you track your workouts, or your writing, or whatever your one thing is, it forces you to be honest with yourself. And you'll find that the simple act of measuring it is often enough to kick your progress into high gear. And that brings us to fix number 3. This is where we just have to admit a hard truth. Willpower is a battery, and it runs out. So instead of trying to rely on it, you're going to completely re-engineer your environment so that success becomes the path of least resistance. No, really, look around you right now. Your environment is probably filled with these little secret saboteurs, all designed for comfort and distraction. Your phone is obviously prime suspect number 1. That cozy bed when the alarm goes off. These things are quietly working against your goals every single day. So the principle here is incredibly simple. You need to make your bad habits hard to do and make your good habits, well, stupidly easy. Put your phone in another room when you need to focus. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. It's all about adding friction to the bad stuff and removing all friction from the good stuff. Now look, these 3 fixes, they'll give you instant momentum, for sure. But if you want permanent, lasting change, we have to go one level deeper. We have to talk about maybe the most powerful idea of them all: how your actions literally create your identity. This is such a critical mindset shift. For so long, we ask ourselves, what should I do today? It's a weak question. The new question, the powerful question, is who am I becoming? Are you becoming a writer, a fit person, an entrepreneur? Because every single action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. And here's a super simple, powerful rule to make this whole thing real. It's called the 24-hour rule. If you learn something new, yeah, like even from this right now, you have to apply it in some small way within 24 hours. No exceptions. This is how you kill the gap between learning and actually doing. Look, if you forget everything else, please remember this. You do not think your way to a new identity. You act your way there. You only become a runner by running. You only become a writer by writing. Action is the forge where your identity is built. Period. All right, we've talked about the trap, we've gone through the fixes, and we've covered the long-term cure. It all comes down to this right here, right now, your next 24 hours. This is where you take that first dose of the medicine. I'm going to leave you with this one last thought. We spend so much time being afraid of failing, but you know what the real terror is? The thing that should actually, truly scare you? It's waking up a year from today in the exact same place you are right now. So pick your one thing. Take one small, uncomfortable action and start now.